Welcome to Let's Talk Brock.
Okay, welcome to this episode of the Let's Talk Brock podcast. Today we are joined by Noah Nickel, current student in the political science program at Brock. Noah is also the editor-in-chief at the Brock Press, Brock's official student newspaper. Thanks for joining us today, Noah, to share a little bit about your passion for journalism and communication, and also for sharing opportunities other students might be interested in.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. I'm excited to get to know you a little bit and get to know a little bit about your Brock experience. To start off, I was wondering if you just would mind telling us a little bit about yourself.
So had a great introduction from Sarah, thank you. But my name is Noah Nickel. I'm in my 5th year in political science here at Brock. I'm also minoring in Canadian studies, and I've lived here in St. Catharines my whole life. And that's kind of me. And like they said, I'm currently the editor-in-chief at the Brock Press, our only independent student newspaper here at Brock.
Awesome. If you don't mind me asking, what made you choose Brock, and what made you choose specifically the political science program?
So growing up here was a big factor in that, because you had a lot of family and friends who have gone and had good experiences. So I heard many good things firsthand from Brock. So that's really what drove me to come to Brock for the political science program. And also I heard some good things about the co-op program at Brock, and I've had a great experience. I finished all 3 of my work terms, and they were all fantastic. I've really had a great experience with the co-op office. So it's kind of a mixture of those 2 things.
Awesome. That's really cool. So off of your experience at the Brock Press, you recently got promoted to the editor-in-chief. Congratulations. That's amazing. I was wondering if you would mind telling us a little bit about what the Brock Press is and how students can make use of it and use it when they're at Brock.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate it. It's been a good 3 years now that I've been with the Brock Press, and every year has had a slightly different challenge. Particularly this past year with everything going on. But yeah, we've adapted, and we've still tried to be there for students, and I think we've been there in a bigger way for them than in the last couple of years, which has been exciting. The number of people we've been able to work with in different ways, right? We have a lot of not just paid staff opportunities for students, but we also do a lot of volunteering. We offer a lot of opportunities for students to contribute stories, and we featured the most students I've seen since I've been at Brock. So it's been great to be able to feature their voices in the paper, and just get sort of the full breadth of the Brock experience, represented from people from different years and different backgrounds and in different programs.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know personally as a student, it's especially with things being online, it's been an interesting way to keep connected to Brock and still hear about everything that's going on and be able to keep up with it. So that's awesome. As the new editor-in-chief, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what your new role is exactly and what your responsibilities entail now that you've been promoted.
So the editor-in-chief is the head of the organization of the paper. Although we don't actually publish a physical paper anymore, so it's more of runs the news media site organization. So yeah, I'm running that, which includes touching up on our website, which is www.brockpress.com, making sure that's ready to go and is really accessible and easy to use, and showcases the newest content in a way that's appealing to people. Getting our social media sort of game in order and getting our ducks in a row there. So we are on Instagram, and we are on Facebook, and we are on Twitter and LinkedIn, all at the Brock Press. It's pretty easy to find us on any of those platforms. A little bit quieter in the summer, but come the fall, we post regularly. Every week we get stuff going. So it's really just setting the stage, getting things ready to go for the fall once the rest of our writing staff is in, and once we start working with volunteers. We do publish during the school year in the fall and winter, and so it's just getting things ready to go for then is really my job now. And then once that's going, making sure the train stays on the tracks, making sure things kind of keep running smoothly in the fall and the winter.
Awesome. You mentioned earlier quickly about how many different opportunities students have to get involved in the Brock Press. I was wondering if you could maybe give people a little bit of a highlight on if they were interested in journalism and communication, how exactly they could get involved and what kind of things they have to look forward to.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have hired our staff, our paid staff for this year. We had a record number of candidates come out, which was great, and a lot of those were people who had volunteered with us during the year, which is a really uh, key way to get sort of your foot in the door and really get experience under your belt and sort of prove yourself to us. And we were able to luckily hire a lot of those people that had come out throughout the year. So there's endless opportunity in terms of the number of people we're willing to take on and work with. There's no limit there, but the experience is the same. So really, the volunteer experience is providing articles for us as a contributor, and then they're featured on our website. We shout them out on all of our social media pages, and so they really are a fantastic way to get anyone's first experience writing in a journalistic style, which is considerably different than essays and other academic writing. And we hold your hand along the way, so to speak, in that we don't really throw you out to the wolves. It's a great learning experience. We're all we all came into the Brock Press as complete novices, knowing nothing about journalistic writing. So there's no judgment coming from us. Absolutely, we have none to give. We have no leg to stand on. But so that's why we try to take what was taught to us in past years and continue to pass that on to other students. So that really is what it's like. It's volunteering in a sense that you are volunteering your time, and we greatly appreciate that in people's skills and their perspectives in their writing. But really, it's a lot of learning, and you can make it into whatever you want to make it into. It can be however beneficial to you, as you put into it, really.
Yeah, for sure. And also such a great way for someone to further extend that experiential opportunity at Brock if they are in a similar program. Like you said, you took co-ops, which is great, but even another great way to get experiential education during your degree. That's awesome. For you personally, as a professional in the future and a student now, how is being a part of the Brock Press align with your personal career goals, and what do you hope to do postgraduate?
I've had an interest in writing, particularly about politics and government, probably since like early middle of high school, somewhere in there, 10th or 11th grade. And of course, I didn't know where to really go about doing that. I tried to sort of put it out on my own, and it really got lost in the void. And so, learning about the Brock Press was a great, way for me to start to do that, to work towards that. And I've had the freedom the last year and a half or so to, write on topics that I choose. And it's been a great way to, like I said, really honing those skills, starting from zero, right? Starting from the ground level, with no journalistic experience. And so you learn those skills, and really it's endurance every week. Really, it's kind of like endurance training. You're writing 3 articles, sometimes upwards of 3,000 words that you've written per week, on top of whatever school commitments you have. And it can be daunting, but you really just you just get your thoughts in order better. You really just get quicker at everything. You get more concise with your words. Your words are more, each word you're using is more valuable, and that all just kind of comes with putting in reps, essentially, for writing. So that's the biggest thing that has value to me, that has really valued me, and will continue to help me in my career, because I hope to be able to write in this kind of capacity. I know journalism's pretty tough these days, but yeah, that is definitely an interest of mine, something I'm pursuing, and so this would be this is a natural fit, and is really helping me to prepare for that.
Very cool. What incredible experience to want to put on a resume as well. If you do one day professionally go into it, that's awesome. For students coming into Brock, what advice would you give to a student entering Brock who has interest in a writing or journalism and communication area?
The big thing would be, do not hesitate to reach out to us at all. We're always there. I'm always there. They pay me to be there, so I'm there all the time, and always happy to help. So my email is editor, editor, @brockpress.com. It's hooked to my phone, so I always get the notifications, and I don't leave any stone unturned. So yeah, don't hesitate to come out with any questions. Try to reach out. Like I said, we're all students. That's something I learned this time around, is doing interviews, that some people were like, "Oh, I had no idea that it was run by students. I figured it was, paid full time, just adults, graduates." So we are at the same level. We're all learning as we go along. So don't be intimidated by the professional speak on the websites and the whole look of it all. We are just amateur hour over here, but in a way that we're all learning together. So anyone with an interest in writing, even if it's not journalism, just want some more experience, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, reach out to me, and I'd be happy to make something work with you.
Awesome. I would imagine, especially now with your new role as editor-in-chief, I'd imagine you're very busy. But even at any time throughout your Brock journey, were you involved in any other extracurriculars, any sports, jobs, clubs, volunteer opportunities you want to speak of?
Yeah. So, well, I've always been working in school. That wasn't necessarily with Brock or in the Brock orbit before, but I've always at least had a part-time job while I've been in school. My co-op terms, all three of them were actually at different jobs in a Brock orbit. So I haven't really been outside of Brock for a couple of years, whether it's school or friends or, work or anything like that. So, but those were all great experiences. Yeah, so I did a little bit of volunteer. Well, I have done, and I continue to do volunteer work with Brock's political party clubs, but also, like the local political party organizations, and all those circles kind of run together. And then I've also done a little bit of volunteer work with a great organization called Civic Connect, that was started by a handful of now Brock graduates, so people that were in my years and people I met through courses. So, but they do great work, kind of tangentially related to government and politics, but a little bit more on the youth employment and preparing for the workforce side. So a little bit of a conglomeration there, but that's pretty much the highlights, the stuff I remember anyways. So yeah, I've tried to be involved in Brock. I do sports if I could, or if I cared to do it, but not really me. So
No, I totally get it. It's also I also completely understand being caught up specifically in the Brock community. It's one of those things I feel like that snowballs. Once you get involved in one thing or one job, it's such a great networking opportunity. Once you get involved in one club, you find other clubs and other job opportunities. So we have similar experience in that way. That's awesome. So that's actually all the questions we had today. So Noah, thank you again so much for joining us and sharing your Brock experience with us.
thank you. And I just want to put it out there one more time. You can find us online, our website, www.brockpress.com. We're on all major social media platforms, save for TikTok. We're definitely not on there. But that's all also at the Brock Press. It's easy to find. And then my email, again, if there's any questions, anything, anyone wants to reach out, editor, editor, @brockpress.com.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Noah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, you can contact us by email at futurestudent@brocku.ca.